What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Adam again. It's June 2nd still. I'm gonna release these videos a day apart. I don't know, I'm working through the day, and I just wanted to take a break and talk some more. I had to update, I didn't have to, but I updated my fitness data, and I'm at the end of the month of June, so it was nice to see like the progress I'm making in terms of my fitness goals. And it came about because, once again, it doesn't matter what I talk about, what I say, someone's gonna get mad about it. Someone's gonna get mad. Every time I say anything, someone's gonna get mad. So I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about it. There's a comment from my boy Dave, who shows up to every video. It's a cool dude. You know, anyway, he says, Adam, come on. Okay, so the context before I get into this is I was sitting on a bench on the bicycle trail, and I was talking about how God always keeps the rain from hitting me when I'm on my bicycle. Like, I swear to God, no pun intended, he changes the weather for me when I go out on my bicycle. And Dave was like, Adam, come on. There are children suffering from cancer, but God changes the weather just for you? Think about that. And I've talked about this more than once. This isn't the first time. It's not the first time I've talked about this on my channel. I've been rained on twice this year. So far, in 2025, I've been rained on twice. But it rains all the time, especially since May. The beginning of May through now we're at the end of June or into July. It's been raining nonstop, like every day. I'm sure it rained yesterday at some point. I know it did because I look outside, everything's wet. It rained. I'm not paying that much attention to it because we've had tons of thunderstorms to where even people are telling me it's not even normal to have this much rain here this time of year. Because I just thought maybe that's how it is. Other people have told me, no, it's not usually this bad. It's a little worse this year for whatever reason. Maybe the people in charge of the weather now want it to rain more down here. Maybe they're going to flood Houston maybe they're going to take out a bunch of flood insurance policies on a whole bunch of buildings in downtown Houston and then flood it and cash in on all the insurance policies, just like the guy who bought the World Trade Center like 3 months before 9/11 and took out $1 billion insurance policy on the buildings because he knew that they were going to get blown up in a few months and he was going to get $1 billion in an insurance payout. Cha-ching! Right? So anyway, I've talked about this, how God keeps the rain away from me more than once. And like I said, I've been rained on twice so far this year. And to even be honest, both of the times I got rained on were kind of at like the end of a thunderstorm, and I never got the torrential downpour part. It could have been much worse both times. I haven't had to ride in a flood yet. And like I said, twice. Two rides out of 150 ain't bad. Well, let me take a look. I can tell you exactly how many times I rode my bike. 2 out of 153 ain't bad. Right? It's just like the lyrics of that song. 2 out of 153 ain't bad. 153 bike rides I've been rained on twice. And it's been raining all the fucking time. It just happens to stop raining when I get on the bike. So I don't know. I don't make the rules. I'm prepared for rain. I have a rain cover. I have different things. I'm thinking about getting a pair of waterproof socks to try those out, see if that helps a little bit. There's really no weather that you can't ride a bicycle in. It's just you have to equip yourself, your clothing correctly, and you equip your bicycle correctly to handle it. It's just like skiing. If you say you can't bicycle in the snow, well then how do you go skiing in the winter? You can ride a bicycle in the snow. You just have to have the right bicycle, the right tires, and the right clothes, and you can do it. I don't enjoy it. I don't want to. I live in Texas now, so I guess I'm not going to have to worry about that unless the people that control the weather decide they want to make it snow and turn Houston into Jamestown, New York, where we get 9 months of winter. They'll flip the magnetic poles around on the earth or do some weird shit to fuck with us even more than they already are. And, and as far as these kids with the cancer, it's just like the prosperity gospel preachers on YouTube say in all of their videos, these kids, they just didn't have enough faith in Jesus. Right? Of course I'm joking. I'm already, that's why I don't give a fuck. I say whatever I want now because if I don't say the joke, people are going to get pissed off. If I do, people are going to get pissed off. So fuck it. I just say what I want. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. It definitely doesn't matter anymore. I've applied to almost 600 jobs and I can't get one, so who fucking cares? Nothing I say or do at this point is going to change the past. So, they're going to be like, oh, did you see his YouTube videos? He's a much better person now, so we can give him a job. No, they're just looking at a background check. Oh, he did this. Nope. So anyway, I don't make the rules. I don't expect God to keep me from getting wet on my bicycle rides, but so far in 2025, I've been rained on twice and I'm closing in on 3,000 miles. In fact, this is why I went and cleaned up my Strava account, which I do about once a week or every 2 weeks. Because what happens is every time I go on a bike ride to work and back, it gets logged twice. So the mileage gets doubled. It'll say, if I ride 50 miles, Strava's gonna say I rode 100 because it's gonna have the data from this and it's gonna have the data from the app itself mixed together, and it's gonna think I went on 2 bike rides at the same time. It's not smart enough. With all the AI that they're putting into these apps, Strava can't figure out, it's the same guy with the same route who did it in the same time. They list it as if I went riding with somebody. Even though the names are exactly the same, their AI isn't smart enough to say, hey, we've detected 2 entries that look like they're the same ride from 2 different devices or 2 different apps. Which one do you want to keep? That's all they'd have to do to fix that problem. But they give you an AI, they give you an AI analysis after each ride that you go on, where they talk about all kinds of shit with your heart rate and your mileage and your average speed and all this and that. Well, it's why can't the AI fucking figure out that the 2 entries for the same ride are me on the same ride, and then just allow me to choose which one I want to be the official record, or combine them. Take the heart rate from the one and put it with the other. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. I record them both. This one will record my heart rate along with the ride. The other one doesn't. This thing will not talk to the other app. I'd have to get a different heart rate thing that talks to the other app. It's all this technology. It's just fucking, it's all stupid. There's no reason all this shit can't work together. It's the companies make it not work together on purpose because they want you to stick to one brand. So all the Garmin stuff works with all the Garmin stuff. And all the Apple Watch can't talk to the Garmin app because the Apple Watch has to talk to the Apple app, and the Samsung app has to talk to the Samsung app, and the Fitbit has to talk to the Fitbit app, and then there are websites that try to take all these different things and combine it together, and it's just, it's like I can open up a JPEG image in any image editing software ever made. So there's no reason you can't open up a fucking GPS file in any fucking app that's a fitness app. But it's just, they do this shit on purpose. So anyway, according to Strava, 2,603.7 miles of adventure so far this year. My goal was 2,000 for the year. 6 months are now complete. I'm at 2,603.7. I'm more than halfway to 5,000. 2,544 were on the bike, 58 on foot, and I'm walking less because I'm not walking to get groceries now. I figured out how to get my groceries delivered. I just did a grocery delivery last night. I would like to pick out my own produce. I do like getting my own groceries more than I like getting them delivered. But there is something to getting them delivered that's like very convenient. So honestly, I just had no energy to go walk yesterday. I needed to get groceries. I've got my free trial of the Walmart Plus that, I don't know when that renews and I have to pay the $12 a month. I'm thinking I want to switch grocery stores for the delivery. Maybe get H-E-B to deliver instead of Walmart because I like the generic brands, the H-E-B brands of things more than the Walmart great value, horrible generic brands for those kinds of things. I don't know. I'm going to just kind of play around with it. But getting my groceries delivered, I think that's a little bit of a game changer. It's definitely, if you've got the option, like, how they got HelloFresh and all these different food delivery things where they'll just bring you a week's worth of meals that are basically almost prepared. You just got to cook them, but they're all like, it's kind of like that, except I'm just getting my groceries delivered so I don't have to go to the grocery store. But when I get a car and if I have a job that I have to drive back and forth to, going to get groceries is no big deal. In fact, I don't like grocery shopping, but when I'm there, I'm cool with it. I'm like, yeah, I like doing it myself versus letting somebody else pick everything out. But this is okay. It's not as bad as I thought it would be getting them delivered. I'm okay with it for now. And it will save me time and energy. I was talking about that in the last video, things that I'm doing to save time and energy. That's a big one. Grocery shopping, because walking a mile to the grocery store is no big deal. Walking back's no big deal. But that's almost an hour. And then an hour at the grocery store. And then being all tired because I walked to the grocery store, walked around for an hour, filled up a backpack with 50 pounds worth of groceries, and had to be conscious of what I'm buying so that I don't overload my bag. And that backpack holds so much stuff, I really haven't reached a point where I overloaded it. And then walking back and then putting all my groceries away and everything, I'm too tired to even cook a meal at that point. And I lost 2 hours out of my day, maybe 3 hours, and I come home with no energy. So it's worth it. It's worth it to do that and save energy. I got more done yesterday because I had my groceries delivered than I would have got done if I went and got them. So it was worth it. As far as Strava goes, January I went 141 miles. February was 484. March was the big one, 589 in the month of March. April was 530. May was 399, and June was 461. I got a little boost towards the end of June because I had to do a few things. I worked an extra day one of the weeks in June, and I had to go do a couple things on the bike. It kicked up my mileage a little bit over. My monthly average is now 434 per month. So, I mean, that's over 100 a week average. I need to average 399 miles per month now, between now and the end of the year, in order to hit 5,000. So I'm kind of right on that knife's edge of, will I get to 5,000 by the end of the year? And if I get a car, it's not going to happen. If I get a car, it's not going to happen, because I will, for the first month of owning a car, I don't think I'll sit on a bicycle once. I don't think I'll ride my bike, not even for fun. It's hard to say though, because there's a part of me that enjoys riding my bike to the bakery and back. I'm not gonna lie. Like the ride home on Monday, I enjoyed it. I was having fun. I enjoyed my bike ride on Monday. And even in the morning, I was okay with it. I don't want to do it when I'm sitting here in the morning drinking my coffee at 5 in the morning, knowing that I've got to do this today. I don't want to do it. But as soon as I'm like a mile into the bike ride, and I'm like, all right, I'm cool with this now. And the bike ride home on Monday, I wasn't even looking forward to it when I was in the bakery. And then I get on my bike and I'm like, yow! And I was having a great time. I was smiling. I was happy. That's one thing. Pay attention to people when you're going by people. Have you ever seen a jogger going down the road with a smile on their face? Jogging. I'm jogging. I love to jog. I love to jog. How many times you look at someone riding their bike and they got a smile on their face going down the road? You're way more likely to see someone riding a bicycle with a smile on their face, as long as you're not being a piece of shit and honking at them. But you're more likely to see a person going down a bike path or a jogging path with a smile on their face when they're on a bicycle, but you're almost never going to see someone jogging with a smile on their face. Someone pointed that out to me a long, long time ago when I was in high school, and I notice it all the time now. I never see people jogging with a smile. Nobody likes to run. Even the people that run all the time hate running. You could see it on their face. They're just like, fuck, I fucking hate running. But you ride your bike, you can be happy as fuck riding your bicycle somewhere, because it doesn't have that jarring impact to your body. It's like a smooth motion. You're getting in shape, but you're not completely bashing the hell out of your body and your knees and your back and everything else to ride a bike. It's a smooth motion. It's efficient, and you can make tracks. You can go a high speed without putting a ton of. You're not completely destroying your body. It's like swimming. Swimming's good like that. It's a whole body workout, but you don't come out of the swimming pool with busted knees and a broken back. You run 10 miles. Fuck, man, I can't even run a mile. I can ride my bicycle 174 miles in a day. I can swim. I can do all this other stuff. I don't even want to run a mile. The only way I'm going to run is like a dog. Same reasons that you can get a dog to run. You throw a frisbee. I played ultimate frisbee, so I'd be chasing after a frisbee just like a dog. I played soccer, chasing after a ball just like a dog. And if there's a hot girl down the way, I'll run to catch up with her. But that's about it. It's the same reasons that a dog will run, I run. Other than that, I don't fucking run. I'll go hiking. I like to hike. I'll put on my hiking boots and go for a hike, but I don't give a fuck about running. I'm not running. Just to go out, just to put on a pair of running shoes, I'm running down the road, I'm running down a track. No, fuck, who the fuck does that? If you give me a reason to run, I'll run, but that's it. But I'm really close to the goal. I'm on that edge of hitting 5,000 miles. If I don't get a car, it seems like every time I get the money for a car, I have to spend it on something else. So I'm trying to break that cycle. If I get a car, you're gonna see my mileage drop significantly for that first month, because I'll take 2 weeks to never get on a bicycle or walk anywhere. I'll drive to the mailbox at the end of the driveway here to get the mail, just so that I don't have to walk 50 feet to the mailbox. I'll be fully integrated into Texas society driving to get my mail because I don't feel like walking 50 feet each way to the mailbox. If 50 to 75 feet, whatever it is, I don't know how far it is, but it's not that far. I can see the mailbox. I can see the road when I look out that window behind me. But I don't feel like if I could drive instead of walking, for at least 2 weeks, I wouldn't even walk that far. If I could drive my car from the chair to the bathroom and somehow, if I could somehow drive from the kitchen to the bathroom, I would do it for at least 2 weeks so I don't have to walk. Just give my body that rest that I'm craving. So the 5,000 miles, that's more than twice the amount of the goal I set for myself in January 1st, where I said I want to go 2,000 miles. I'm already at 2,600, just about, over 2,600. I'm closing in on $3,000. It's probably the most distance I've ever put on for an adventure miles in a single year. I'm positive of this. I do kind of feel like I'm doing more harm than good lately. I'm not eating well, so the weight just kind of plateaued. I'm at the same weight right now than I was when I moved to Texas. It's gone up, it's gone down, it's kind of back up, and it's just kind of flatlined. It's like I've been here since September and I've made no gains. But I have made some gains because when my bike ride on Monday home was fast, and I broke some of my segment records on the way home, and I wasn't putting in the energy to do it that I did when I set those records in the first place. So I am getting stronger, but in order for my body to get to another level of strength, it needs more rest than I'm getting. And so I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do I do this? How do I get to that level? And so, I don't know. I know, Dave, I know you're just busting my balls with the comment about Jesus keeps the rain away from me. I mean, you could pray for Jesus to make it rain on me, and we'll see who Jesus loves more. We'll see does he love you or does he love me more? We'll find out. Let's have that contest and see who wins. And then I'll be showing up on the video for 2 weeks straight going, man, I've been rained on every time I get on that bike. It's like the clouds just show up and it starts pouring down rain every time I ride. Well, you want to see who God loves more? Let's see. Let's have that contest and see. I'm just going to keep the faith that for whatever reason, God doesn't let it rain on me. I'm at 2,000, whatever the hell I just said, 2,603.7 miles, and I've been rained on twice to where my feet got wet, and I was actually wet from the bike ride. Twice. in 2,600 miles, I've gotten wet twice. 153 bike rides, I've gotten wet twice. So, I don't know, man. I know you're just busting my balls. I've said over and over, I don't expect God to keep me dry on my bike rides, but I've been experiencing things where I ask God for something and he answers me when I pray about it. Not just the rain, but a bunch of random things. It's like whenever I'm going into work at the bakery, I try to remember to say an out loud prayer while I'm riding down the road on my bike to keep everybody safe. Primarily, I start out with that, keep us all safe. And I pray for all of us, not just me, but everybody I'm with at the bakery. I want us to all have a good time. I want us to be safe, have a good time. Make the clock go by fast. That's a big one. Let that day go by fast. Let us all have a good time, joke around, enjoy each other's company. Let the time go by fast, so at the end of that 8 hours, you don't feel like you were there 8 hours. That's a big one for me, because at first when I worked there, 8 hours would go by and I would look at the clock and I'd be like, fuck, I've only been here 15 minutes. This is gonna be a long, long day. And now it feels like I blink my eyes and 3 hours went by. Or, I finish a task and I should not. I finish a quick task and 3 hours went by. Well, that's because you're slow, Adam. But no, I'll do an amount of work and I'll think that, an hour went by in my mind and like 2 hours went by. It's not quite that good, but the days go by a hell of a lot faster when I say these prayers. I notice that the atmosphere is better when I ask for it. I've noticed it did. I started saying the prayers because there was a situation that would take place there. I'm not going to say names or anything, but that I was irritated about. And I noticed that whenever I prayed about this, the situation would change right away. All of a sudden, the person I might be having a clash with, the whole atmosphere would twist around and be completely different, and we'd all be joking around and having a good time. And it would be like, I go to the bathroom and take a quick little pee break and ask this prayer. I'd come back out and the whole atmosphere of the place would change instantly. And I noticed it. And I'm like, man, I need to do that every day. And so I try to remember to do that. And I notice it works. I forgot to do it one day within the last week or two. And the day went sideways in lots of ways. People were in a bad mood. Everything was going wrong. The weather was bad. All these different things. One of the women burned her arm on an oven rack. Pretty bad, just like psh, down the whole arm on a hot oven rack. Because that's something I specifically pray about. Like, I don't want to see people get burned. I mean, it's a pretty safe place to work, but, it's not super dangerous, but there are ways to get maimed working in a bakery. You can get burned. I mean, I worked in a fucking prison kitchen wearing a pair of styrofoam orange Crocs on my feet. It's the exact opposite of a non-slip sole. These shoes just slip even if the floor's dry, let alone when the floor is wet. That was so fucking dangerous having to wear those fucking Crocs. And there's no safety on all the equipment in the prison kitchen. Like the giant mixers don't have the safety thing to keep you from getting your hand caught in the mixer and having your arm ripped off and turned into, and then if that happened, they would just still serve the food with all the fingers and the muscles and stuff mixed into the fucking biscuits. They wouldn't give a fuck. They'd still serve that shit to the prisoners. But I had to walk around in these styrofoam Crocs all day. And imagine how bad you could burn your feet when you tip over a 50-gallon tilt skillet full of boiling water. 50 gallons of boiling water that you have to pour out of this thing into a floor drain. And if you have your feet anywhere near that wearing these fucking styrofoam Crocs, it's going to melt the styrofoam on the Crocs and it's going to take the skin off your feet with it. I can't count the number of times people got hurt in that fucking kitchen because they don't give a fuck about you when you're a piece of shit in jail. So they don't give a fuck if you die. It's just, one less person to feed today. They'll fill that bed with somebody else. Don't worry about it. So I don't know why God answers my prayers about my bicycle rides and my prayers about keeping my sanity at the bakery, but he doesn't allow me to go get a professional job making the good money I used to make. Why I pray about that too, and that don't happen. So other than the only thing I can think about it is that maybe I'm not supposed to go get one of these jobs again. Maybe it's just God's not going to let it happen because he wants me to do something else now. I know God forgives me for what I did. That's the whole message of the Bible, is that God forgives you. If you fuck up, as long as you repent and you want to change your ways and do better, he's going to respect that and forgive you for what you did. Even if people don't forgive you, he will. It doesn't matter what you did. It doesn't matter what you did. People could do a lot worse shit than I did, and God will still forgive you for whatever it is you do. Even if I don't forgive you, God did, and he's waiting for me to come around and get into that same frame of mind. But speaking of the trolls, that man, I banned another one because I'm having a hard time with the comments, because YouTube no longer sends emails when you get a comment on your video, and that was the easiest way for me to keep track, because the comments would show up in a YouTube folder and I could just click directly and go to the comment, see the video that it's related to and all that, and it was easy to keep track of when new comments showed up. And I'm not saying it's impossible now, it's just different. And it's not as cut and dry to get in there and see them all and respond to you as it was before. But the trolls, I banned another troll from the channel, and it brings the total up to 5. But I'm telling you, it's the same person. It's the same person, because when I look at the account, it's a brand new Google account that's probably never been used for anything other than to leave a comment on my video. It's the same person every time. I know all 5 of the ones that got banned are the same person, so it's funny now that whoever this is fucking, it's fucking weird that somebody will go to the trouble to create a brand new Google account 5 times now just to show up and leave some dumbass retarded comment on my video. And then all I gotta do is go click. 1 click and you're out for good, banned for life. You can never leave a comment on my video again. So it takes me 1 click to make you go away. How many clicks do you gotta do, and how much shit do you gotta do to create a brand new Google account every time you want to leave a comment? That's a lot of fucking shit to go through. You're spending a lot of your fucking time just to come at me again with a dumb fucking comment. So I can take 1 click of my mouse and make you go away. It's hilarious. I mean, eventually Google doesn't have a limitation for the number of Google accounts you can have. You can have hundreds, thousands if you want, as long as you don't break their terms of service, the stuff that you don't read when you say yes. If there's something in there that you break, some rule that you didn't read or whatever, that they can shut you down. But eventually they will limit the number of Google accounts that you can verify with the same phone number over and over again. But I mean, it's just a lot of trouble to go through. And I'm gonna have to and then, okay, so no, it was more than 5, because I checked. I went into YouTube Studio, because that's where I have to see your comments now in order to be able to figure out what video they were on, and how, to see them now, I have to go into YouTube Studio and see them there, instead of getting them in my email. And so there's an area in YouTube Studio where YouTube will block your comment, and then it gets put in this bin of, we detected something that could have been offensive and we held it aside for you to come and read. You can approve it or get rid of it. And I even set YouTube, I changed the settings to not do that, but they still do it. I just find that when they do it, the comments are way more offensive than they used to be, but YouTube will still block you if you say certain things. I don't block you, at least not to, I don't throw you in YouTube jail, because I don't check this often. Maybe every couple of weeks I look to see what's in there. And there were 3 more accounts from this fucking guy who spins up a new YouTube account every time he wants to troll the channel. And he left the same comment over and over and over again. And so I just went block, block, block. It's that simple. Just because I did look at the accounts, and they're all brand new accounts with no followers and just some retarded ass screen name, bootylicious -1572436 or something, douchebag -14725 or whatever. Just, it could be a bot driven process that just makes up random screen names and grabs a random image from the internet and makes an account out of it. I don't know. But I found 3 that YouTube held back because the douchebag left comments that YouTube thought were too offensive for YouTube. But, Adam, you take a look at these and see what you think. And I was like, all right, fuck it, block, block, block. So I have 9 banned accounts now in my collection of banned accounts. But go ahead, you fucking retard. Keep making a new Google account. I want you to make a new Google account today. Make 10 more. Show up, leave your dumbass comments, and I'll just go block, 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 block. And then you gotta make 10 more, you fucking dipshit. Keep doing it. I don't give a fuck. I mean, you're basically, you're one step above a spammer. If people were leaving comments like, click here to see this OnlyFans account with a fucking link or something like that, I would just be like, block, done. I wouldn't let that shit sit on the comments. YouTube pretty much, I think, automatically will block those because I don't see outright spam showing up. But I should have taken a screenshot so I could read the comments to you. But it's the same comment over and over. One is, you're a piece of shit. You're a convicted felon and a piece of shit. You threatened federal officers. You're a piece of shit. You're a loser who lives in a tiny house, and you always will be a loser that lives in a tiny house. And you're a piece of shit with a dead-end job, and you will always have a dead-end job because you're a piece of shit, and you're a piece of shit loser who lives in a tiny house. So those are the comments. That's it. I mean, that summarizes everything that he says. And whoever the fuck this is, man, it's somebody who it's either, I just find it interesting because it's either somebody I personally know that has some sort of issue with me personally, and so I could assume that it's somebody I know in real life who's just so fucking obsessed with trying to get under my skin that they'll keep doing this over, and then it's worth going through the trouble of, I'm gonna make a new Google account today so I can go leave a comment on his video. Like, it's fucking weird. It's weird. That's a weird fucking kind of creepy stalker kind of a thing going on there. But this fucking world is full of fucking weird ass retards, so whatever. It could be some douchebag who works for the federal government who Elon Musk didn't catch on to when he was, looking for people defrauding the taxpayers, and this guy just gets paid to sit at a desk all day trolling people on YouTube instead of doing any actual work. So those are the 2 scenarios that I'm thinking this could be. But it's 2 people. It's one guy. It's one guy just masquerading as 20 different people on 20 different accounts, leaving the same comment over and over again. And you can tell if you were if you were looking at it, you'd be like, yeah, it's the same person over and over again. You can tell. You know how Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, got caught? Because he wrote a manifesto and he had it published in the newspapers. And his brother read it and said, oh my God, that's my fucking brother. He knew it was his brother. He knew his brother was the fucking Unabomber because he read the Unabomber's manifesto and he's like, That's like sitting and listening to my fucking brother talk for an hour. That's my brother. He wrote that shit. And so he called the FBI and he said, yeah, the Unabomber's my brother. And Ted Kaczynski, that's his name. I don't know where he lives or how you're going to find him, but, you know, that's probably enough. And sure enough, a couple months later, the FBI figured out that he was living in a fucking tiny house, like a tool shed, out in the middle of the fucking wilderness, kinda. And they came and got him. And the dude spent the rest of his life in prison and died there. In the Supermax prison in Florence, Colorado, I believe. The worst one in the country. The worst place you could possibly be put in prison. So anyway, I don't know. Somebody's got a beef. Somebody's got beef with me to the point where they have enough free time on their hands to create a new Google account every day so they can turn around and leave some shitty comment that I can just go, gone, and ban you. And I think it's funny. That's actually funnier to me than trying to come up with a witty response to your comments, because all I gotta do is click my mouse and you get pissed off to the point where you go and create new. I'm wasting a lot of this person's time, and that's really funny to me. I think it's great. But I don't ban people I don't ban people I disagree with, even when they put me on blast, like Dave here, with, you know, telling me that, you know, God should care more about the kids that have cancer than whether Adam gets wet on his bicycle ride or not. And I'm not even saying I disagree. All I'm saying is, hey, all these kids got cancer and they didn't make it, but Adam stays dry when he rides his bicycle to and from work, for the most part. So, I don't know. Who does God love more? You gotta, there's something to think about there. You're telling me I gotta think about what I'm saying. Okay, why did all the kids die from cancer and Adam stayed dry on a bicycle ride through thunderstorm season? I don't know. 3,000 fucking miles, 2,600 and whatever, no, 2,603.7 miles to be exact. And I got rained on twice out of 153 rides. So, I don't know. That's all I really have for this one. I'll keep it a little bit shorter. I'll keep it under an hour. I'm going to go back and do whatever I got to get done today. I got plenty on my plate. It's never going to end. I'd rather be busy with, you know, it's kind of like, would you rather be busy and feel like you're completely behind because you have so much work to get done for people that need it, and phone calls to make and things to catch up on and all this kind of stuff? Or would you rather be bored because you have nothing to do and nobody, you know, you don't have a job and nobody's, you know, waiting for you to get anything done and you're not making any money and blah, 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 and this and that. And so, like, I guess that's one more thing I could say is this troll, one of his comments he keeps saying is, you are a piece of shit loser who has a dead-end job and that's all you're ever going to have. And I'm like, I say over and over again, I go to the bakery 2 days a week now. I work 16 hours for $10 an hour, but somehow I'm able to pay rent and pay the internet bill and to pay my Adobe software subscription and pay for all this other shit, working a dead-end bakery job 2 days a week that I ride my bike to. And somehow I live off of that. Like, if I wasn't doing anything more useful and didn't have clients and freelance jobs to work on, yeah, that's a dead end. Oh yeah, that really fucking sucks, building websites and doing graphic design jobs for people that are paying me. Yeah, that's totally dead end. That's a total dead end shit job right there. Yeah, I mean, because, you know, if I'm just going to work a dead-end loser job for the rest of my life, yeah, I wouldn't even be able to afford to live in that tool shed that I was living in. So I just find it amusing that that's what this guy like, obviously it's not, getting under my skin or whatever. It's amusing that like you're that much of a fucking idiot that you think that all I have is a dead-end loser job, and that's all I'm ever going to be for the rest of my life, and I'm already not doing that to pay my bills. I couldn't pay my bills with a dead-end loser job. The dead-end loser job, according to you, is paying for my grocery shopping, and so it covers my grocery bill. It's enough money. If I look at what I bring home in a month, take home pay, it's more than groceries. It pays for my groceries. It keeps my bicycles maintained, all the money that I've spent keeping my bicycles maintained, and it helps me get things that I need for the house. And it does. This past month, it did put me over the top so I could make the big rent payment that was due on July 1st. The money that I made at the bakery put me over the top for that. It left some in the bank for me to get groceries and the things I need. So, but there's 5 other ways that I'm making money. Not all of them are some of them don't make as much money as the bakery, and some of them pay a lot more. So, I don't know. I mean, keep talking your shit. I don't care. But I'm just, every time I see you show up, I'm just gonna go bye and let you disappear. But the people that, just because you leave a comment that I disagree with, or you bust my balls or something like that, I'm not going to. But there's a difference between the troll comments and the busting my balls comments. And so I know the difference, and I'm just going to, and I know I said I wouldn't do that, but now I am. And why? The same answer is the question, why does a dog lick his own balls? Because he can. Why do I ban the trolls from my channel? The only reason I'm going to give you that I have is because I can. And I decided I'm going to. So, tough shit. If you don't like it, start up your own fucking channel. You could, the best thing you could do to troll me back, if I'm going to ban you from my channel, why don't you start your own channel, you fucking retarded ass troll, and make it your life's mission to put out videos about me and talk about me, and make it your life's obsession to put out videos, and see if you can grow more followers than I have on my channel by doing nothing but put out videos about what a piece of shit loser I am. Maybe that should be your goal in life. Maybe you can get 50,000 followers by talking about me on your channel when I only have 1,200 subscribers on my channel. Maybe you should try that. That would actually be like, you would be the master troll if you could pull that off. That would be like, then you could brag about it. Then you could put out videos every day bragging about how this piece of shit loser, Adam, doesn't have any followers. He works a dead-end job. He's a piece of shit. He's a complete piece of shit. He threatened federal officers. He's a loser who lives in a tiny house. He works a dead-end job. He's a piece of shit. I only said that 50 times, but I'm going to say he's a piece of shit again. And at the end of the day, if you've got 100,000 subscribers who want to listen to that, and I've got 1,200, you won. You won. So I don't know. I'll give you that challenge. Let's see what you can do. In the meantime, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Peace out.